Erin. I'm so happy to have you here with us, Erin. Feel free to introduce yourself and take it away.
Thank you so much, Elliot. It's so nice to be here. Everybody can hear me A-okay? Love it. I really, really appreciate being a part of this event. This is so special during Pride Month. How cool is this? Want to just say hi. I'm the other Erin. I know that you all heard from my spouse a little while ago, Erin Moody. So that Erin is Moody. My name's Frenchie. She, her pronouns. A special thanks to Shruti Swaminathan, whom you heard from this morning. Shruti is my dear friend and someone whom I admire so, so deeply for their passion, for their vulnerability in their work. Um, they've just been so instrumental to me as a person, and their journey and their work is just so cool and so necessary. Um, okay, great. So a little bit about me. Um, I'm just going to kind of go over some things about me and just tell you a little bit of my story. I don't have like this amazing, cool, rad story like Shruti does, but I want to just chat about my work professionally and then a little bit about my work personally. So originally I had written out this whole like life story about me, and it ended up being like a big thing. And then, I needed to do what all great artists do, which was edit. So, a little bit about me. Um, Professionally, I manage a shared office space. I work for a company and I have about 250 members at my office. And the kind of key takeaways that I want to, bring today are this concept of inclusivity and celebration of our differences. I have a ton of members over here. I've got a really wide range of experiences, ages, backgrounds. And something I strive to do every single day is to, number one, just be super authentic. I know that authenticity is the way that you pull all the right people in your life. And I always want to create a safe space for folks to be themselves, to express themselves how they please. And I know that whenever I am made to feel safe in an environment and I can show up as myself, like I just feel that much better and that much more included, and celebrated. And that is my goal across my entire life is inclusivity, is celebration of all of our differences, and to make people feel really seen. So between the community building that I do here at the office, I run the whole space. I have a ton of people here. I'm in front of a lot of people every single day. Um, and so building community is absolutely a cornerstone of who I am and what I do. And between that by day, I am, as you know, a DJ wife, and I also am a podcast host, and I am a little bit of a fashion designer. And the way that I kind of bring that community building into those other facets of my life is I absolutely love going to all these events with my spouse. We really, I think that we do a really great job of bringing in all the right people and celebrating all these different kinds of people who come to our events, and really doing all that we can to give folks a platform to express themselves, to be who they are. And whenever I come upon these people who are just living their lives so authentically, I make sure I tell them. I always want to give people that affirmation that who they are, how they are, in whatever way, the way that they're showing up in the world is loved and celebrated and is needed. We really need everyone to show up as themselves. And so that's just a long way to say, if you ever are feeling like you might want to just affirm someone, I would absolutely recommend that you just do. Just go up to them and affirm them and compliment their look, compliment their dancing, compliment whatever, they have going on that you really love about them. All the love just gets spread further that way. Um, Okay, a little bit more. So I want to talk a little bit about this concept of people evolving and why we should never be afraid that even though the human brain likes to label and organize and put people into categories, we really need to understand that our evolutions are constant and they're so important. And I want to talk about this coming from the perspective of the wife of someone who is gender fluid and pansexual. And when I was thinking about this last night, I'm trying to, best explain this. With the human brain, we like to put a label on it. We like to say, okay, well, you're gay, so you like the same sex people, and you're trans, so you are transitioning between binaries. But life doesn't work like that. And we really need to expand our understanding of what an evolving lived experience can look like. It was during COVID. I'm sure that Erin talks about this a little bit, but it was during COVID that my spouse and I had a lot of deep conversations about their gender identity. And as they probably mentioned before, the only label that they had available to them when they were growing up was the label of lesbian. It took about 30 years and a lot of really deep inner work and some really beautiful aha moments to help them understand their own gender fluidity. And, coming from like the wife's perspective over here, um, it was a new frontier for me. And I too, had my own like nights where I was like lying in bed to think about my own identity and how I express myself. But personally, I'm perfectly fine with she, her pronouns. And I think that I identify best with being cisgender. But I wanted to offer my partner a perfectly safe place to be seen in a completely new way. And, this looked like a number of things for me. It was adding new pronouns to my vernacular. It was like late nights of big emotions, working through these old stories and leaving them in the past. But my call to everyone today is to equally strive to be brave in your own authenticity, and then also strive to create safe spaces to hold others in their vulnerability. It's just such a great honor to be a safe space for others because that's literally all that we have, and that's the whole point. Okay, I know that you're going to ask me, Elliot, about what I do for joy.
Yeah, please tell us.
So, a little bit about me on the joy side. I'm taking sewing classes, and I have also a little bit of like a line that I've worked on. Back in 2020, I had a lot of time, like we all did, to contemplate everything about life. And one thing that I did during COVID was I would source these jackets, pants, coveralls, etc., and I would bleach and dye and embellish. And I'm actually wearing one of my jackets right now. And I kind of like formulated this little platform called Come Out Collective, and it was just a place where I could make clothing and like make items that could go on any body. I wanted to be extremely clear about these are the measurements of the piece and they can go on any body. They are not gendered, they are not specific for, any kind of person. And this is just the sizing of the thing. And so I really that's just another super important thing for me to be able to create pieces that can literally go on any body. Um, so part number one. Part number two for joy, a lot of dancing. Oh my gosh, I have to get a lot of this energy from what is happening on the day to day. I got to get it out. And what better way to do that than to call, all my people in at these sets that Erin and I go to. And also supporting queer artists. Whenever we have our other artist friends who are doing shows in New York, we always try to show up, bring the best energy, bring all the love, and really shower these people in all of the celebration, because that's what it's all about. Um, okay, great. Do you have any other questions for me, Elliot? Thank you so much. This has been so fun.
No, I think that's it. But I just really want to thank you for being here and coming and sharing your story. I think it's so important that in the mix of us sharing about work and all the things we do and in this effort that we're also just helping people understand that there's so many ways to be a queer adult, to make it to adulthood and to get to be yourself, and what that looks like can be so many things. So just thank you for being here and representing that. Appreciate you and Aaron. Love it so much. And thanks to Shruti as well for getting us all connected so you could be here. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later, Erin.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it. Have a great Zoomathon, everyone. Mwah.
Thank you so much.